In 1918, this helmet was considered advanced technology for the combat soldier. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. I'm Joseph with Vets Haul Junk, and welcome to this installment of the Junk Haulers Roadshow, where we show you some of the unique so-called junk that we haul out of customers' homes every single day. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Junk Haulers Roadshow is brought to you by Vets Haul Junk, junk removal powered by veterans and patriots. Visit vetshauljunk.com to find a location near you. This is the U.S. model M1917 helmet that U.S. troops wore at the onset of World War I and later into World War II. Though its official name is the model M1917, it's commonly referred to by other names like the Battle Bowler or the Tommy helmet, but most people recognize it as the Doughboy helmet. At the beginning of World War I, none of the combatant countries provided steel helmets for their troops. Most of the troops fought in the trenches wearing some kind of cloth or leather headgear. In 1915, French ground forces sustained large numbers of facial trauma and lethal head wounds due to enemy projectiles exploding overhead. This motivated the French to produce a helmet that could shield troops from face and head wounds. The shape of the helmet, at least in theory, would provide better protection from overhead threats. The British War Office thought the helmet might have value for their troops and evaluated the French Army's helmet design for their own use. They eventually determined the French version wasn't durable enough and was too complex to be mass-produced on the scale needed for the war effort. Also in 1915, an inventor by the name of John Brodie patented a combat helmet design that was very similar to the French design, but which offered advantages over the French helmet due to its increased manganese content in the steel. The helmet was referred to as the Brodie helmet. It was constructed in one piece that was pressed from a thick sheet of steel, whereas the French design was made from multiple pieces, which made it structurally weaker. The Brodie helmet was simple to manufacture and much stronger. Troops from other countries also used the Brodie helmet, including the United States. The U.S. government initially purchased 400,000 helmets from the British, but in 1918 they began to use Brodie helmets that were made in America. These helmets were officially designated M1917, but some U.S. troops began calling them Doughboys, and that's how most people refer to the Brodie helmet today. One of the more interesting features of the Doughboy helmet was that before final painting, sawdust and glue were mixed together and applied to the helmet to give it a rougher texture. This allowed mud to stick more effectively to the helmet, providing a better way for the soldier to camouflage themselves. The Doughboy helmet was used by U.S. troops until 1942 when it was replaced by the M1 helmet. The M1917 and later variations were then adopted for use by civil defense forces all throughout the United States. I really do think that this is one of the coolest things we've ever removed in a junk removal job. Thanks for joining us at the Junk Haulers Roadshow. I'm Joseph, owner of Vets Haul Junk, and we'll see you at our very next junk haul.